before we get into clients and client acquisition stuff, what did you learn? Those questions you're trying to answer. Why do people do what they do, and why do people buy what they buy? Do you have revelation? Like, do you have learnings from that?
Let me put it this way. I came across something almost a decade and a half ago that when I saw that for me was a revelation in many ways. And the reason I say that is because one is I was like, why did nobody teach this to me? But I could say yes to everything. And here's what it's a very simple framework. And it was, we produce any result or outcome based on the actions we take.
Okay.
Right? You take an action, you produce a certain result. But for us to take a certain action, that is ingrained in our belief system about something. So I do what I do because I believe that if I do this, it'll produce this particular result.
Yes.
However, most often when you see people try and alter action, they say, oh, you change this, you'll get a different result. You change this, you get a different result. But here's what I realized. What triggers actions is beliefs, and what triggers beliefs is experiences. Either it is your own experience or somebody else's experience. So let's look at this. At the foundation of it is experience. My experience about something creates a belief system about something, and what that belief system leads to a certain action, and that particular action produces results. So one of the things I started doing differently was, instead of trying to change action, I said, I want to change experience. Because if I can change experience, I'll change your belief system. If I change your belief system, I'll change your action. If I change your action, I'll change the results. So I started doing that with learning and development. So we then went into what we would call experiential learning.
Okay.
Right? And also think about it, right? Honestly, we forget what we've read. If I read something, even if I read something 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I can forget. But we don't forget experiences, even if though they've been something I've experienced 20 years ago, 30 years ago, right? So we honed a whole lot on experience. And then when I started getting into marketing and branding, I said, how do I create experiences? And so little did I understand this whole idea of so-called, consumer experience or customer experience. For me, the idea was, how do I just create experience so that it can change people's belief, get them to do something that I want to, so that they can produce a certain action. So we started doing a lot of crazy, fun stuff during so-called experiences, right? So do we have a few seconds for me to tell an example?
Yeah.
Okay. So one experiment we did was to create an ad for a peel that was designed to remove blemishes. So what we did is we said, if you look at it, the fundamental idea of experience is to engage as many human senses as you can. So we said, how do we create that? So traditionally, if you look at most creams or face peels that tell you that it'll remove face blemishes, will just be a face, and we'll have like a before after, one picture, and We said, no, we want to create experience. So experience would mean engage as many human senses as we can. So we created this one page that when you looked at it would show you a face with blemishes. But at the corner of it,
you would peel
it off. So when you do that, it takes away the blemishes. And now you're seeing a face with no blemishes, right? And two things. So one, I got the visual already done there. I got the experience of touch and feel. And I also got the smell, because as soon as you open that, you could feel the fragrance. You could sense the fragrance.
This is a physical thing.
This is a physical thing,
okay,
right?
Got it.
So the idea was, how do you create that? And of course, I've tried to translate some bit of that into digital in different formats. But that was just one example of how I think that I think was we were very proud of what we created out there. Yeah. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.